Here you are at the famous Hhala Sultan Tekke, as is the international name for it. It is derived from Turkish and Arabic words, but internationally this is the name for this place now. And Khala is an Arabic word, meaning auntie. And Sultan is a word to honor her, as you know, Sultan like a king. So because she's such an important person in the people's heart, people address her as Sultan. That's the highest rank they can think to give her. So it is called the anti-Sultan. Tekke means a religious center. We consider her as a present, as a hadiyah that was sent by God, by Allah, for the believers. And many believers throughout the world, many people who are seeking spirituality, enlightenment, it doesn't have to be Muslim. We don't have any condition like that. The doors are open here for everyone to come and look for enlightenment and spiritual refreshment, and to try and understand what her existence here means. Hhala Sultan, her original name is Umm Haram binti Milhan radiyallahu anha. She is a famous lady Sahabi from the time of Rasulullah's mother. She was connected to Rasulullah through his mother by being a milk sister to Hazreti Amina. And you know, when it's according to Islam, through wet nursing, through milking, people they get the same conditions as the blood relative. So Rasulullah, because she was milk sister to her mother, she was being addressed by Rasulullah as auntie, and she was treated very highly and respectfully during her life. It is narrated from Anas bin Malik radiyallahu anhu how the story of her coming here started. And our Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was having a midday nap in her house one day on a very hot day. And when he was having a rest, she was trying to make him comfortable by pushing away the insects, the mosquitoes, so that he can have a good nap. And she realized that he is witnessing something very happy in his sleep, because he started to have a very nice smile on his face. And after a short while, he got up from his rest. And Haram, she was a bit worried. She thought she had disturbed him. And when he asked Rasulullah if she had disturbed him, he said, no, not at all. I have got up because I have received a very nice message from my Lord about the future of the believers. And she said, if it's permitted, I would like to know about this good news, if it's permitted by your Lord. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, indeed, I will tell you about it. And he said, I have shown my Akhir Zaman Ummah after me boarding sailing boats like in a very dignified and in a very proud way, in a very, very powerful way. And they are crossing the oceans. They are crossing to the other side of the seas, to the other shores with the sailing boats to take the message of Allah to other people. And Allah is so happy with these people. He is going to grant them so much rewards. I couldn't hold myself but to wake up cheerfully. But don't forget, during the time of Rasulullah, there was no navy, there was no boats, and even in his lifetime he has never come to near to the sea or to witness a boat. So this is a small mujiza from him, not a small, a proper mujiza from him, speaking about the future, what is going to happen. And when she heard this very nice news, she said, since the rewards are so high, I would like to join these people, if it's possible. And she made a wish that she joins those people who are going to sail across the seas to come to other shores. And Prophet ﷺ, he made a prayer. She said, okay, and he made a prayer for her, a dua for her. And then he added, your wish is granted. Your name is written with those people. Allah has granted your wish now. After he passed away in 632, Umm Haram, she was a resident of Medina at the time. And she was waiting anxiously for her time to come so that this news from the Prophet will become real. And she's waiting, and she waited until the year 647. And this is the time of the third Khalifa, Hazrat Osman. During his reign, the first time they established a navy, and the navy first time came to Cyprus. So when she heard the news about the navy that is being established, that is going to come to Cyprus first time, probably she thought, oh, this must be the time for me, because she knows the word of the Prophet should be fulfilled, and she's waiting. And probably she is very old now, over 80 or 90 years old. When she heard the news of the navy, she told her husband, Ubadah bin Sabit, we have to travel to Damascus, because the headquarters of the Syria is on Damascus. Damascus was the headquarters. So they start traveling to Damascus, and when they reached Damascus, they made a request that they would love to join this naval expedition. But the military, they were not really impressed with the offer. They said, we are not really willing to accept you on board, because this is a very difficult expedition, and you are like a mother for us, and we don't want you to get harmed in this journey, because this is not a easy task to make. But she said, the reason I want to join this naval expedition is because what the Prophet had told me during his lifetime, and because he has given me this promise, I want to join this naval expedition. When the commanders, the military people, they heard about the promise of the Prophet, they said, okay, since that is the case, we have nothing to say but to accept you with us, and you will honor us as well. So they came here, and they were having a small battle on this region with the then owners of the island. And during this battle, she was riding her horse. Some say it's a horse, some say it's a mule. And during the heat of the battle, she fell off her animal, And when she fell off her animal, she passed away immediately, and she was a shaheed there and then. And to this spot where we see inside, she was immediately buried. As you know, that is the Islam's custom. When somebody becomes shaheed during a warfare, you bury them as you find them, wherever they fell. Muslims, starting from the 7th century, 647-49, they continuously make naval expeditions to the island, and until the year 9th or 10th century, they colonized some parts of the island, and they were present here at those times. But after 9th and 10th centuries, they left. There was other places, there were other bigger problems, and Cyprus, they retreated from Cyprus until the time of the 16th century. And this is the time when the Ottomans, they made an expedition against the then rulers of the island, which were Italians, Venetians. So in 1570, the Ottoman Turks, they made their expedition, and in 1571 they took over all the island, and they settled here, and they started to live here. But they didn't know much about Umm Haram, because there is not many sources available at the time. There is no internet, no newspaper, no television, nothing like that.